Just came back from a very enjoyable walk slash jog with my new lifestyle of eating and with the high energy that I've got on. No more blood pressure medication, so I'm so excited about that. But just like my energy is so high and everything like that. But anyway, burned off a lot of fat today. Well, a lot of calories I should say. So I feel like an omelette. But I'm gonna make it a little bit different. So what I've decided to do here is, what I have here going on are some onions and I have some mushrooms. I cut them up very fine and good, and I like to cook that out a little bit first. Okay, in the sink I've washed off some spinach, so I'm going to be adding that shortly, and I'm going to cut up a piece of green pepper and I'm going to add that. This is going to be my filling, but you know me, besides the protein from my egg, I kind of might want a little bit of sausage. So as I'm doing that, I'm going to also cook up a piece of sausage to add to my filling. This is on a medium fire right now, because I always like to give my onions a little bit of sauteing first instead of just putting like raw onions or something into it. And my mushrooms, I definitely like to cook that up a bit. Do not just like cut up mushrooms and put in an omelet and do it that way, or even if I'm scrambling an egg. So I like to cook up my mushrooms and onions, and of course I'm going to add the spinach. While the spinach is in there, I'm going to cut up a piece of my green pepper, which I just basically cut one piece off, and it looks like this. I'm going to cut this up into small little pieces, and I'm going to add that to my deep dish frying pan. So I've added my spinach, and while my spinach is in here getting all the juices and blending together, I use ghee, 1 tablespoon of whatever oil of your choice you can use, but I use the ghee butter this time around because I have some in there. Time to always like to switch up your fats. So it's on medium. All this is getting in there and starting to blend together. I'm going to cut my green pepper, and I'll be adding that last. I'm also going to add a little bit of black salt, a little bit of paprika, a little bit of garlic powder, and a little bit of cayenne pepper. Again, I love to get that little bit of kick of the pepper to get that metabolism running and going. Feel free to just add a little bit of salt and pepper to your taste. If you decided to go with the green pepper like I did for more flavor and taste and more add to my veggies, this would be the part now that you would add it in and blend it all together with the rest of your veggies. Again, this part of spices and herbs are not really necessary. You already have a good blend here, but a little salt and pepper to taste if you like. Me, I don't need to have the salt because I have so much salt and everything else that I'm just going to add the black pepper, some paprika, and some cayenne pepper, and I'm adding my garlic powder. I'm going to mix it all in to make sure everyone gets a bit of something. This looks yummy all by itself. So now that I think that this is cooked to the desired way that I like it, I'm actually going to turn off the fire and start to get my egg mixture ready. So what I've gone and done here is I took out my veggie mix and I put it in a bowl on the side. I'm going to add my protein, which I have to cook first. And I have my scale here, which it's saying I'm actually using turkey sausage because that's what I have in the fridge. That's what I was in the mood for. So whatever you're filling, if you're going to have a protein, feel free to do that. So mine says 1 serving is 2 ounces, and I have exactly that. So I'm actually going to chop this up finer and then cook it on medium in here. And then I'm going to take another 2 ounces for tomorrow. So I'm going to actually make 2 omelets because, hey, why not have a good tasty breakfast 2 days in a row if you can. So this is my 2 ounces that I'm going to cut up now, put into the frying pan and cook up a bit. And then I'm going to add another 2 ounces for my second omelet. So I've cut it up to my liking, adding it now. Again, you don't even have to use any extra protein because you got the protein going on in your egg. And you could also do your veggie mix. So this is about cooked to my liking. I'm going to dish this out and get ready for my first omelet. And as you see, I've got my protein, my turkey sausage ready for my day 2 omelet. So now I have all my ingredients and all my fillings that are ready for my omelet. I've got my veggie mixture ready and waiting over here. I've got my turkey sausage waiting over here. I've got my eggs and I've got my butter because I'm going to take a tablespoon of butter, cut in half, and half of it to put in the frying pan for the first omelet and another half for the second omelet. I've got some heavy whipping cream that I'm going to use 2 tablespoons full for each omelet mixed with the egg. And you can use whatever cheese of your choosing, whatever cheese you choose. I'm going to do a mixture of cheese. I've got my mild cheddar and I actually have some mozzarella and provolone. And to get the correct amount, I'm using the shredded. So all I did was with my app, I scanned the bag and it gave me for the quarter how much it would be. So I'm going to actually do a mix of it. That's how, if you have an app, and there's many out there, and you can scan the products to know, so you can do your calculations for your low carb, keto friendly, if you're counting macros, if you're counting calories, best way to do it. Okay, so I'm going to cut my butter and turn on my fire and get started. While that is melting the butter, I'm going to do my egg mixture. So I've got my butter in here melting. Now, you don't have to use heavy whipping cream. Again, it depends on your goal and what you're trying to do. If you are low carb, but you're trying to do high fats like keto friendly, adding with your 2 eggs and adding the whipping cream is good. You can, if you're just doing low carb, you can add a tablespoon each of regular milk. Or if you're going really extreme, you can add 2 tablespoons of water. So for each egg, I'm adding either whipping cream, or you can add the milk, or you can add the water. But for me, I'm adding the heavy whipping cream. So I've got my bowl here ready, and I'm going to crack the 2 eggs. Whatever liquid you decide to go with, you would be adding it at this stage here. For me, I'm adding my 2 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. Then I'm going to add my mixture of cheese and then blend together very well before adding it to my frying pan. So my egg mixture is in, and you know, at the point where I've learned how to do omelets, we usually wait till our eggs are almost done before we add the rest of the ingredients. But as your eggs are in there, as you see that I did differently, I didn't add my cheese to the top, which you can do a little bit extra. What I'm going to do now is add some of my veggie mixture to it right in there and add my filling at the same time. So I'm adding my filling, and you're going to see that I'm going to add the filling and let it cook just like that. But the difference is you're going to add your pot cover So here's my 2 ounces of my filling, and me just wanting a little bit more veggie mixture. Now you've already added the cheese, right? But if you want a little bit more, just a little bit, because you want to make sure that your second omelette gets the equal amount. It's only fair. So just a teeny bit here. Okay, I think that's enough. And now I'm going to add the pot cover. And I'm going to let my omelette, still on a medium fire, cook up there. So now when I take it out, it should slide right out of your pan, and you should be able to fold it, and there you go. A magical, easy omelette. So with the lid on, you might want to use a timer, or just pay very close attention, because you want to make sure that you cover and cook for about 5 minutes. It could be done in less. Just taking a quick look, but you want to make sure that your egg is solidified. And then that's when you know it's done. Okay, I'm gonna take off the lid now. Looks like it's together. And real simple and easy. You could either use your spatula, or you could just slide it right off into your plate. Don't even actually have to use any utensils, so how about we just do that? Give it a little shake and onto the plate. I'm going to actually use my spatula and flip it over. So there you have it. SHELLZ low carb, kettle friendly omelette. And again, using a pot cover makes a world of a difference. And as you see, it looks simply delicious. And I didn't even have to use a spatula, a fork. I just did a little shake and I slid it right out. But it's ready to go. And again, depending on how many omelettes you're making, just keep repeating this process. This looks yummy. So no more time to waste. It's time for me to get going and eat my breakfast. I hope you do try out this recipe. It looks delicious. Extra bonus, I quickly made my number 2 because I know once I sat down and ate, wasn't sure I was going to go back in the kitchen. And you want to catch it while the fire's hot. So here's my one for today, and here is my second for tomorrow. At least I know that I'm prepared and my breakfast will be ready to go.